Well, hello, and thank you so much for joining me today on Round Glass Living. And we're going to experience a moment of mindfulness. I'm Vishvapani. I live in Cardiff in Wales. And in today's practice, we're going to become more grounded and aware by finding our center. And to do that, we're going to be using the image of a mandala, which you've probably heard of. It's also known as a sacred circle. So, to understand how this works, think of a sacred space like a temple. So, the heart of a temple is the shrine to whatever deity or being or whatever values it might be. Well, think of a church. In the center of the church is an altar. That's like the shrine. And everything else is arranged around that point, that central point. So in Tibetan art, a mandala is a diagram of a temple, depicts a temple, and at the center of the temple is the Buddha, or something that represents the Buddha, maybe a symbol that represents enlightenment or awakening. Now, we're going to use that image as a way to understand our lives. So imagine that our life is a sacred space. It's a space, well, it's just the space of the whole of our experience. Now, what is at the center of our life? What's at the center of your mandala? What's most important, in other words? If we can locate the center, we can identify our real values, the things that we really care about, the things that we love most deeply, the things we want to bring into our lives or through our lives we want to bring into the world. If we can identify that, we can start to rearrange the mandala so that the most important things really are the things that we give our attention to. And everything else arranges itself around that. Now, after the session, you might want to do that just by drawing your personal mandala. But we're going to explore that through the practice itself. So this is a mandala meditation, also reflecting on our own values and our own lives. Let's find a posture, a way to sit. Now, I'm going to give some suggestions. And with these suggestions, it's a combination of this being good advice and applying it to your actual experience right now. Okay. So the first bit of advice about posture is to be firmly grounded on the floor, feet on the floor, bottom resting on the chair, maybe coming away from the back of the chair slightly so we can feel upright. This is if you're sitting on a chair, as I am. How does that feel? How does it feel to move away from the back of the chair so your spine rises up? How does it feel to sense the whole height of the body? Yeah. How does it feel to let the chest be open? Shoulders just falling down the back. How does it feel to be here? Now, let's just give ourselves some space to arrive. And we're arriving with whatever we bring. Maybe you're just waking up. What do you need to do if you're just waking up? Perhaps move a little. Or maybe if you're on the other side of the world, you're falling asleep. What do we need to do to be alert? And what am I bringing to this moment? What's feelings, what thoughts, what moods? Where's my attention drawn? Just notice that. Just notice, oh, I want to think about this. Or my mind wants to go there, does it? I see. So let it go, but keep on bringing it back. Just bring ourselves back to the body, bring ourselves back to this moment. Feeling the body, feeling the sensations. Notice the movement of the body with the breath. Taking your attention to the heart area, the chest. It can be nice sometimes to place our attention, place our hand on the heart. You may or may not want to do that. It can help us connect with the heart. Or perhaps the belly. It's the same principle, it's the core of the body. Move a hand down. So breathing in, feeling the heart, feeling the core of the body, and the tummy, the belly. Just sitting with the breath flowing quietly. And allow an image to come for what's there in our heart. Not just the heart of the body, the organ that pumps blood around the body. Not just that. Also, the heart of our life. Is there an image? It might be a traditional image, like a Buddha figure, something like that. Or perhaps from another faith tradition, if that's what speaks to you. It might be an image like a flower, a lotus, whatever the image that comes to mind, let it be present. See it, perhaps, or feel it. Now, if this is the heart, if this is the core, the center of the mandala, imagine that our life, with all of its elements, spreads out in a great circle around this heart center. And just reflecting now, what's at the heart of my life? What do I care about most deeply? What do I love? What's most important to me? What do I truly value? Letting these questions circulate and cluster, allowing answers to come, turning into thoughts, but not pursuing the thoughts. How do the other elements of my life relate to these core values, this essential priority? Are they close or are they further away? Even if they're the things that take our time, demand our attention, fill our thoughts, they may still be on the edge of the mandala that we would like our life to be. What's close in? What's far away? What's that? So breathing, settling, and staying with the things that we want to be the heart of our life, close to the heart. Just allowing them to stand, just noticing if this sets off a whole chain of thoughts. Going to need to keep coming back to the body, to the breath. Feet on the floor, bottom on the chair. What's at the heart now? Is it the same? Has it changed? So breathing with that. Breathing with the sense of our true values. our true priorities. Maybe people, maybe activities, maybe a sense of purpose and endeavour. Resting, settling. Coming back to the image in our heart of a figure or an emblem, a symbol. Feeling that it's alive, like a flame or a light, that's radiating its influence through the whole of the body, the whole of our life. Breathing in to the heart, breathing out and letting our heart values fill our bodies. And just letting the image fade now, letting the reflection fade, coming back to the body, staying with the feet on the floor, the bottom on the chair. Sensing the body, allowing space for whatever is present in our experience today. It's all part of the mandala. Noticing any reflections, perhaps reflecting that although certain things are our true values, we may notice that they're not where we're spending our time. Just noticing any reflections like that. And then just moving as we start to make a transition. We can always just move our fingers, move our toes, our shoulders, roll our shoulders. Okay. Found myself sorting and shuffling my thoughts during meditation. How do I not pursue my thoughts when my instinct is to do just that? Observing and settling was more challenging today than usual. Okay, Thank you for that comment. That's interesting. That practice was a kind of reflection practice. So we spent quite a lot of time settling, but then it was bringing in an element of reflecting on our values, reflecting on what's central. We were doing that through an image. Nonetheless, it was a reflection. And when we start reflecting, we are using our thinking faculty. And what can then happen is, well, we just get into thinking. We just think, 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 think. So sometimes reflection is better done outside of meditation. But what we've done is we've introduced that reflection through the meditation practice. And then I think the art of reflecting in meditation is a whole thing to learn in itself. And it can help to use an image like the one that we do, so it's not just ideas and thoughts. I mean, at the core of this practice was the sense of being in touch with our values. So that is what it feels like to be, that's how it feels for me to be centered. You know, when I'm really in touch, not just with my body, but in touch with who I really am as a person, I don't need to work things out. So, what does it feel like to be centered? And what does it feel like to be off center? I think this is so important. And so, what helps you to stay in touch with your center? What takes you away from it? And this needs to be lived out, this process, not just through our activities, not just through meditation, but through our whole lives. For example, perhaps you think, well, what's really important to me is the people I love and bring that love into the world. But actually, I'm spending my life trying to make money. How do those two things fit together? Well, I don't have an answer to that, but there might be a value clash for you around that. So this kind of reflection can help us to shift our value, shift our priorities. How do we stay in touch with them? What changes might we make in our lives to make the things that we really value more central? Okay, so lots to reflect on. And I'm going to finish by sharing a poem by Lord Byron. He was an English poet from the first part of the 19th century. Now, this poem's very well known, and it's usually taken to be a love poem. But I'm going to introduce it in the spirit of a poem about being centered. You might even know the Leonard Cohen version of it. So we'll go no more a roving, so late into the night, though the heart be still as loving and the moon be still as bright. For the sword outwears its sheath, and the soul wears out the breast, and the heart must pause to breathe, and love itself have rest. Though the night was made for loving, and the day returns too soon, yet we'll go no more a roving by the light of the moon. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing this time. Please continue to explore your meditation practice with us. In the mandala of our days, meditation and mindfulness needs a place near the center. You can check out our daily live meditations round Glass or on the Round Glass Living app. Have a really, really great day and stay centered.